How many of you have felt that you need some more data before going to do the thing that you're going to do? Type in the comments decision, because that's what decisions are. You take what data is, and based on the data, you make a decision. Now, how many of you find that what you're going to head out to do, you don't have sufficient data, you don't have relevant information or knowledge, enough knowledge, but you're going to do it anyway, even though you can't explain why? Type in the comments, I choose to. So you clicked on this video, right? And what I am going to do is I'm going to be talking about this particular thing about heuristics and what they are, and how to deal with situations where there are not enough relevant data or information to make a relevant, uh, you know, relevant conclusion. So basically, if you've never been to my channel before, what I do at the moment, this channel is about, is I showcase my rudimentary YouTubing skills by making a videos daily. So I'm keeping a measure of posting videos every day, and I plan to reach YouTube video 1000. I don't know what's going to happen after 1000. 1000 is an arbitrary number as far as I'm concerned. However, at the moment, this being my 38 video, hold on, let me just be right back. This is my 35, 36, 37, 38. Yeah, this is my video number 39. I am 11 videos away from my intended short-term goal of 100 videos on a daily basis, and these are all videos that I'm not going to judge. So as you can see, I have a green screen behind me which I'm not going to use yet, because there are some there's an intention of why I am keeping myself with the conditions that the video quality would not be as good as the limit that I've kept. This is in order to conserve my resources, and this is something that I chose to do. So, all right. So all of these mind games about decisions and choosing, right? So let me just start with what heuristics are. Heuristic is a word which has a long definition in the dictionary, I'm sure, but to cut things short, it is something that cannot be proven, but it is true. So a good example I would talk about is consider some of the operations in mathematics. So okay, like this is a bit of a history lesson, this is a bit of math too. Bertrand Russell, all right, he is a logician. He was a guy who had like a he was able to come up with a new unique theory back in the early 1900s, on set theory. So he had something called the Russell's paradox, which is fascinating in itself. Bertrand Russell is a very fascinating individual. I suggest you check him out. Um, he's an important writer for you to consider. In fact, he was one of those people who was who has been in one of the most important events of. He was there. He made he was a witness, and he made a lot of comments about them. I digress. We'll have a Bertrand Russell video in the future. However, in one of the I was reading this graphic novel called Logic Comics. Logic Comics is about how humanity basically came up with the computers, the integrated circuits that we see today, and how the logic gates. So if you see a microprocessor, the 32-bit, 64-bit, whatever you see, it's basically like a series of logic gates, which is like the AND operations, the OR operations, and some other operations, the if statements. I don't know, I forgot about that, but regardless, so the microprocessors like came up from the theories of the mathematicians who came before, and one of them is Bertrand Russell, and he worked with a friend of his to come up with the Principia Mathematica. So I hope I pronounced the name right. It's a Latin name. So the Principia Mathematica, it was about going to the root cause. I mean, like trying to prove like a basic thing, like 2 plus 2 equals 4. It sounds obvious, right? Like, I mean, we have heard this in maths. Like 2 plus 2 is obviously 4. But there are some operations that like there's obviously a mathematician or somebody who are experienced in this would be better able to explain this to you. And I am trying my best to explain it to the best of my ability. At the moment, I don't understand it enough to explain it to you in simple terms, and I'm just sharing with you what I read and what I got from it. Right. So in these root causes, like he like trying to prove 2 plus 2 equals 4. Like he was trying to find the deeper bedrock of mathematics. He was trying to see if there was something like capital T truth. Okay, like it's like a an idea in philosophy that with that you can base everything from it. So it's like how Elon Musk talks about you got to think from first principle basis. It's something similar to that. Like Bertrand Russell was trying to look for the first principles. So Principia Mathematica was such a vast book. It's like it was incomprehensible. Like nobody could get it. However, a German, I think he was German, mathematician called Kurt Gödel actually took the time and the effort to go through those books. And there was an event where mathematicians from all over the world, I think, or maybe just Europe or the US, that because John von Neumann, the father of modern computers, I think he's called. Well, von Neumann or von Neumann or whatever. He's like a very important person, in computers. So they have this historical event where Kurt Gödel proves to them the Gödel's uh, uncertainty. Hold on, let me just Google the damn thing, just to be sure that I'm whatever I'm talking about is accurate. Oh yes, it is Gödel's incompleteness theorem. And in Gödel's incompleteness theorem, right? And let me just read it out to you. It's actually pretty fascinating. Like this is going to be important in the next few years when we are like getting closer to artificial general intelligence. And where I stand is that it is coming close. Regardless of what people say, I think artificial general intelligence is coming very soon. Um, there is in the subsequent videos, I shall look for ways to falsify, like see if this is accurate, like falsify the hypothesis basically. There is some data that I've seen. I'm fairly convinced about the data. I just need to do some more research, get deeper into it. So back into this, Gödel's incompleteness theorem are like two theorems of mathematical logic that are concerned with the limits of probability in formal axiomatic theories. So what this means is that there are no consistent system of axioms. See, sometimes these axioms of there are some axioms of geometry, there are some axioms of maths, and there are axioms of physics. However, the reality of this universe is a bit more strange than expected, like stranger things. It seems that these axioms are not consistent with each other, which is really fascinating actually. Like it actually blew a lot of people's minds. And it's almost like the quantum theories of physics. I think this is something very similar to what happened in maths, because a lot of mathematicians found that whatever they've been working on probably wouldn't exist. Like their life's work was turned into dust basically. So yeah, that sounds horrible. But like so here's the thing, okay? Like the first incompleteness theorem states that no consistent system of axioms whose theorems can be listed by an effective procedure, that is an algorithm, is capable of proving all truths about the arithmetic of natural numbers. So for any such consistent formal system, there will always be statements about natural numbers that are true, but that are unprovable within the system. The second incompleteness theorem, an extension of the first, shows that the system cannot demonstrate its own consistency. It's actually kind of genius how Gödel proved this. Like there is a TED talk, I mean a TED animated video where they talk about this. And I would consider like take it easy, try to get this. I mean, of course, a person like me would have to take it easy. I don't know about you. Like I'm sure you guys would have like would probably find it easier. So So this is like some of like this inspired the book called Gödel, Escher, and Bach, which is a book about. It's actually basically like a friend of mine read it, and he told me that it's basically a book about why an artificial general intelligence wouldn't be possible. So it would be very fascinating to see get into deeper into this, because this actually is kind of mind blowing that mathematics was something that it's untouchable, right? Like at least that's what I thought it was. And when I heard about the Gödel's incompleteness theorem, even though I couldn't completely get what was going on, I felt it was something profound, that there is no such thing as a bedrock. It's almost like, what is the earth being held on top of? It's like the old joke, like, four elephants. like in the ancient world, like it was a belief that the earth was on top of a four giant elephants, and they had names and stuff. And what's under the four giant elephants? Oh, that's turtles. Oh, okay, so there's a turtle involved. Okay, so what's under the turtle? Oh, dude, like another turtle. So what? Like more turtles? Yeah, it's turtles all the way down. So it's like an infinite. Turtle situation going on here. Like what's going on? So that's the point. Uh, I'm sort of bringing this into like a way we make decisions, because the distinction or the difference or the thing that makes these things different, right? A decision and a choice. A decision is based on data. No matter how much you keep digging, you will never be there will never be an end of how much data there will be. Even though you think you have reached the end, you are just running out of instruments to measure the data. However, a choice, uh, what that puts into fundamental, it puts your consciousness into fundamental. So like how we approach first principles is that we put we put physics as first principles. Physics, the atoms, the particle physics, they bombard and stuff, and from there we get chemistry, different elements coming together, and like oxygen, carbon, everything, they come together, form these molecules forming cells, and these cells form the fundamental basis of biology. From biology, we the cells expand, stuff happens, things evolve. I'm like fast forwarding, like toward the last few thousand years of the history of the universe, and life starts emerging, human beings start emerging, and once human beings start emerging, psychology happens. Like your biology gives rise to psychology, and after psychology, your consciousness, according to the philosophers such as Daniel Dennett, Stephen Pinker, Sam Harris also, and Sam Harris's wife Anna Harris, who wrote a book called Consciousness, and Daniel Dennett's book is called I forgot his book, but I heard, like, I can only remember that book based on the review which was given for it, which was Consciousness Explained Away. So that means, okay, I remember the name of the book now. It is Consciousness Explained. Ha, like, hilarious. Stephen Pinker, he's a linguist. He wrote this book called The Language Instinct, and there's one more book that I would like to recommend is like Mating Mind by Jeffrey Miller. Okay, all these books are sort of relevant because they come from the paradigm where they put physics, chemistry, biology, psychology, and consciousness in the top of that pyramid. Right. So that means consciousness emerges from all these systems working together, and basically your ego or your self is an illusion. However, there is something that I would like you to, I would like to put your attention to the noetic sciences. The noetic sciences are things which are far removed. Okay, like it's like fringe science. The edge of the people don't even call it the edge. People look at it and they laugh and they say that's not real science. I'm not touching that thing. Yet there is enough evidence, there's enough data to show that I think we should we should probably pay more attention to it. I hope I don't sound like a mad scientist because of the weird hair. I'm sorry, I just got distracted a little bit. But Dean Radin's book, The Conscious Minds. Just Google Dean Radin. He has several other books. He has one thing called Real Magic, magic with ends with a K, Magick. And there's one more called Supernovel. So Dean Radin has this theory that probably it is not physics that is first principle. It's probably consciousness that is fundamental. So you have consciousness first. then comes physics, then comes chemistry, then comes biology, then comes psychology, or whatever you want to call it. So it's very fascinating to me. Like if the paradigm of a consciousness based model, what would it? I mean, let us assume that uh, if this reality of this universe is actually a consciousness based reality, then what would it look like? And conversely, what would our universe with a physics based first principle actually look like if consciousness was not fundamental? I mean, these are questions I believe worth asking, and these are just like a lot of half baked thoughts probably. But in the end, right, I like to conclude with this. Like, you expect to make the best decision based on a number of key data points and information. Unfortunately, our reality is such that it's probably, in a physics paradigm, it's probably more accurate, more beneficial for you to get the as much data as you possibly can. Like, I don't know, probably go overboard by getting all kinds of instruments to measure every single thing. It's like getting overcompensating for something. Instead, maybe coming from the consciousness is fundamental paradigm, you take a leap of faith and create whatever comes your way. So my concern, more than worries, my concern is that whatever I just spoke just now doesn't sound too chaotic or too out there. I'd like it to be out there, but like I hope you're able to follow the reasoning of my thoughts. Of course, I need to do research. I need to refine this into like working theory, and probably I need to do all the due diligence that needed to be done. And this is not it. This is just basically a trailer or like a work in progress. I'm just documenting it. So it's like a developer log or a dev log, if you so put it. So thank you for. Hey, Advik is here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Hey, Advik, what's up? I didn't know you're watching. So thank you for watching, Advik, and anybody else who's watching. So I'll be signing off now. Good night.